This is Sight Guys. I'm Stephen. Now, today in the studio with us is Oliver. Oliver is from London, and we're going to talk about Tai Chi. Oliver right now is a Tai Chi practitioner, a Tai Chi student, to be precise. Okay, welcome, Oliver. Oliver, how long have you been in Hong Kong?
I've been in Hong Kong now for a year, just under 10 months.
10 months.
Yeah.
So before you come to Hong Kong, you were from London?
Well, I was living in Dublin actually, and I moved to Dublin from London,
Okay.
but I'm not from London as such.
Okay,
But I'm
you have a
English.
London accent, right?
Well, some might say so, others might say more Midlands.
Okay.
Neutral anyway, because I've lived in a few areas of the UK now. So.
Okay. So before you come to Hong Kong, do you have any previous experience, first-hand experience with Tai Chi?
First-hand experience? No, I don't have any I didn't have any first-hand experience. I suppose my only exposure to Tai Chi at that point would have been seeing it performed. Seeing it performed with the traditional dress, with all the colours, and people, in large groups maybe. So it seemed a little bit theatrical, maybe a bit inaccessible to me. And I didn't think much, really, of it or to it. It was only when I moved here that it became because I knew it was something that was used by older people. I knew it was something that was used by older people for health reasons. But I was interested in exploring the more meditative side of Tai Chi, because I felt like at the time, through my work and what was going on in my life, that my life could definitely benefit from some kind of meditative technique, whether it be meditation or whether it be Tai Chi, or something to focus my mind, keep me calm, keep me relaxed, help me control my emotions. So that's actually what led me into Tai Chi, and I'm not sure that would be the route in for everybody, but that's how I came into it.
Okay, good. How long have you been practicing Tai Chi in Hong Kong?
I think I started short before Christmas, so maybe 7 months, 8 months.
Half a year, right? 6 months.
Yeah, half a year. So
yes. Just over half a year,
easy
right?
on me. I'm a newcomer, but
okay.
I do have a newcomer's perspective.
That's
Right.
what I'm interested in. I'd like to get your newcomer's perspective on this very ancient Tai Chi practice. Okay. Now, you told us what you think of it before you have any first-hand experience. Okay. Now you are into it already. Tell us this thing that you used to think is for little old man practicing for health reasons. Now, how do you find it now? Is it just slow motion, or Jet Li, Jackie Chan in slow motion? Or what do you think of it now?
Well, my initial experience of Tai Chi was one of utter physical torment. I joined my class that I currently practice with, and they took me through 3 parts of the style that they perform. From beginning to end, I followed along very badly, almost falling over at times, but I stuck with what was being done, and I followed along. It probably took in the region of 45 minutes maybe to get from the beginning to the end.
Wow, it was quite long, isn't it?
Right, but at the end of that period of time, my knees were buckling, the sweat was pouring from my body, and I understood that Tai Chi is not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, from what I know about Tai Chi, there's an external, the movement part of it, the limbs, the hands, and the legs, okay? And also the internal part of it. Now, let's focus a bit on the external part of it, the movements,
Sure.
okay? What is it so difficult about this very slow motion? It seems everybody can do it. What's the challenge?
Well, the challenge comes in being able to perform these long sequences of moves. I mean, it's not just performing one movement slowly. It goes on for a long time, and you could say that your body is in a constant position of stress for most of that time, unfamiliar unfamiliar movements and maintaining unfamiliar positions for long periods of time. The slower you're moving, the longer you have to stay in that uncomfortable state. All your weight pushed to one side of your body, so one leg or one foot or one knee, taking all the strain. So whilst that's happening, you're concentrating on a movement that you're making with your arm. The whole time you're focusing on keeping your shoulders relaxed, because the focus is on relaxation, really, after all, because all the stress needs to be dispelled from your body while you're doing this. That's the most optimum way. Certainly don't claim to have reached that point yet, but it's tough.
You talk about coordinating different parts of the body, like the legs, right, the waist, and the arms. And at the same time, you talk about relaxing. Isn't that a bit of a conflict between the two?
Seems like it, doesn't it? Seems like it.
Because to coordinate, you need to be intensely focused, right? Relax, and really tense, right? Yeah.
Okay, and you are, at first, for sure, intensely focused on every movement of your body. And this stress manifests itself in your back and your shoulders. And whoever's taking your class can see quite quickly that you need to practice more and relax. So often you'll be reminded to relax your shoulders, and if you do it, you do feel that you're moving in more of a fluid motion. But I suppose you could compare it to first trying to drive a car. After a while you become, most cars are automatic over here, but I learned to drive in a
stick shift.
A stick shift, you might call it. So you're very aware of, I'm in first gear, it's time to turn, it's time to move into second gear, so after a while you forget what gear you're in.
It becomes habitual, right?
It becomes habitual, you just change gears, right? Yeah. And you're able to concentrate on the road at large a little bit better at that point. So once you move beyond the point where you need to focus on where your feet and hands and body and weight are supposed to be at that point, you do begin to relax. And I am beginning to feel that after 6 months or so, of the part of the whole form which I'm beginning to know quite well. I'm beginning to see more progress in my mental state, because when you're able to relax your body, then you're able to relax.
Now you just now you brought in the mental internal aspect of Tai Chi, right?
Indeed.
Now I know a bit of Tai Chi myself, so let me ask you about. It seems like breathing is also a very important part of the practice.
So
it's not very obvious. It's not very obvious, right? And also there is also this mental state. You see, you have to get into a certain mental state, because I look at the practitioners. They seem, once they start practicing Tai Chi, they have a different look. They have a stoic, almost like emotionless look on their face. What is it? What's it about the internal aspect that's so?
Well, they're in a meditative state when they're people who are real practitioners of the art. They reach a meditative state which you can compare to any other meditative state, I'd imagine. So in order to reach that point, you really do have to have got through all of the learning that you have to do at the beginning, and you need to be able to have learned how to relax, perform the movements in a completely relaxed state. And I think then you can move on to aspects. You talked about breathing, and I'm beginning to understand now why breathing is so important, because I find that if I concentrate on exhaling and inhaling at the right times, it really helps me move more easily. And I know it sounds strange and maybe a little bit abstract, but move more easily into a position that I'm trying to get into. If I'm trying to sink slowly down, as I exhale, my body just naturally sinks down, maybe even a little bit further. And then when I'm rising up or moving up, lifting up, internally inhaling, it just facilitates and helps you keep a rhythm internally as you're going along. So I don't pretend to fully understand all the characteristics of it, but breathing's very important. And as for the stoic look, it's a mystery to me at this point, but one day I hope that I can look as calm and zen-like as my teachers.
You just now you sounded to me like as if you're describing Yoda and the Force in the Star Wars films, right?
Is there anything similarity? I think it's a good analogy. I think it's a pretty good analogy. The only difference would be not everybody can practice the Force. You do need to be born with that inherent ability. Yeah. That's not the same in Tai Chi. I think everybody has the ability to
you mean even foreigners like yourself?
Even foreigners like me. Even somebody who doesn't understand the Chinese medicine terms when it comes to Qi.
So I don't need to be able to be fluent in Chinese to be able to pick up this practice, right?
My teacher doesn't speak English. And I'm able to, through the helpful translation of some members of my class, when they're able to help me, I'm able to pick up lots and benefit greatly. My health is improved, my general level of fitness, my flexibility, and I'd like to think it does help my mental state as well.
Would you recommend it to your friends who are not Chinese? Would you recommend it to people who have never have the first-hand experience of this practice? Would you recommend it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's great. It's a lovely way to exercise your body. It's a lovely way to experience calmness in your life if you don't have a calm life in other aspects. It's a great way. It's a great way to spend a couple of hours.
Let me ask you just one last question, okay? I understand that Tai Chi, the movements in Tai Chi, they evolve from combat moves, right?
So I'm told.
Real combat.
Right.
So is there, when you're in combat, is there any aesthetics to this Tai Chi practice? Because it's from, live combat. So is there any aesthetics to it?
When my teacher is explaining things, he's often explaining things now in terms I find more helpful to me to be able to comprehend and kind of translate what's being said. Aesthetically, if you think of it in terms of combat, every movement has an application in combat. It could be a drag. You're grabbing somebody by the arm. You're dragging them. Everything comes from the waist. So then you can understand that it's all about weight, balance and counterbalance of yourself and your opponent, your imaginary opponent. It helps to be explained in terms of combat. If you just explain it in a more traditional sense, you could probably help me here if I talk about Qi. If we just explain it in terms of that, I become slightly bamboozled, and I'm sure most Westerners and people who don't understand much about Chinese medicine would also find it quite kind of difficult to relate on that level and in those terms. But it can certainly be explained on a level that Westerners and foreigners like myself can easily understand and comprehend. It can be done. Can be done.
It's a great pleasure to have you here to share with us your Tai Chi experience, okay? And I hope you'll go on practicing it and become a Tai Chi master in no time.
I've stuck with it this long. I think I can do it.
Thank you so much, Oliver.
Thank you, Stephen.
Now, thanks for tuning in. We'll bring you other interesting stories later on. Bye-bye for now.